demonstrate without a shadow of doubt that the Creator exists?
Could you repeat it once again, please?
What scientific proof will you accept that the Creator exists if that was given?
So he's saying, what scientific proof will prove to you that a Creator exists? What sort of proof would you
If
need?
it's a scientific question, then there must be a scientific
Way.
to prove it.
Yes.
If
If it's a question of science.
yes, if scientists will demonstrate conclusively that the hypothesis, the theory that makes most sense is that the one which involves the Creator, this is the evidence I will accept.
Such as, what is the nature of that evidence?
Such as, if we were to take all the theories and compare them point by point, and it would be demonstrated that evolutionary theory, other theories explain the origin of life a lot worse than the Creator theory.
The question is about the existence of the Creator, not about how the world works. So what sort of scientific proof will make you
The existence
convinced,
of a Creator.
make you
Because
convinced that the Creator exists? What sort of
the
scientific
nature of the
proofs?
universe is one thing.
Asking proof basically.
Yeah.
What is the proof?
You see, no, let me. The nature of the universe is one thing. That's one question, and the existence of the Creator or a Creator is another question. What scientific proof would you need to prove the existence of a Creator?
Well, didn't I tell you?
No, you didn't. No, you're talking about the nature of the universe, how universe works, how human origin works. You're talking about these things. We're not talking about the Creator yet. So, what scientific proof would we need to prove a Creator?
Well, don't we accept that creation is part of the universe?
No, we don't accept that.
Then that does really make sense, because there's nothing, according to the definition of the universe, there's nothing outside of the universe.
So you now agree with that man, it's not a scientific question. It is not within the scope of science to talk about the Creator.
Thank you.
It's not in the universe.
وعليكم السلام.
Because now you've understood my.
That's why I wanted to, that was my second point. Doesn't it?
So to just because the mic cannot hear Mansoor. Now, are we in agreement now that having discussed these few points, we agree that based upon this discussion, God is not a question of science,
If we agree that...
because we with God is beyond the universe.
Well, then yes. Then,
Okay, we agree.
Now I'm arriving to the second point.
Right.
Doesn't it sound absurd that we were talking about a kettle in the sky or a monkey 50,000 kilometers away? And you said, can you prove it? No, you can't. Okay. You could replace a monkey, a kettle, with God. And the meaning would remain the
Still
same.
not a question of science.
Yes.
It's a question of philosophy.
But doesn't it sound absurd? Doesn't it sound absurd to you? If we talk about a flying kettle and we actually compare a flying kettle.
Make it simple.
No, this is
Either
a
the
question.
Creator
It's
exists
not a
or the
question of
Creator
science.
doesn't exist. And is it a scientific question?
We're still in agreement. You're right. Absolutely. One can claim anything is out there. Absolutely. But is it a question of science? We have already demonstrated that God is not a question of science. Now, it is a question of philosophy. Philosophically, by reasoning, by intelligent reasoning, we can show you the philosophical reasons as to why God exists. Because science does not have the scope to reach there. It stops. Where empirical evidence stops, science stops. Where naturalism stops, science stops, right? It doesn't go beyond that, right? For that reason, God is a question of philosophy. So from philosophy, from using arguments, philosophical arguments, we can show you why God exists, why He has to exist. So that's the difference. Now again, talking about a blue monkey flying 50,000 miles away from here is a question of philosophy. It's not a question of science. Philosophically, if I can show you reasonably well that there is a monkey 50,000 miles away from here flying around in space, if I can give you reasons for that, then you can either accept my reasons or reject those reasons.
Well, philosophy is weak. You know, philosophy.
No, it's not
prove
weak.
things.
Philosophy is at the core of science. Without the philosophy of science, you do not have science.
Well, philosophy.
If you remove philosophy from science, there is no science. Do you agree?
Yes,
Even
we
science
do,
has.
yes.
So then philosophy.
You know why the reason why philosophy exists even in science, because
science needs it. Without philosophy of science, science wouldn't make sense.
No, because reality is objective. It
Right.
doesn't it doesn't really matter what we think of things. They are just what they are.
Based
But
upon the philosophies we have chosen to follow.
the thing is, the problem is that we are, as the machines that analyze the world, we are also biased, and the only way we can kind of tame this bias is by the means of philosophy. But that's something we have to deal with it, and fortunately, science is not all about philosophy.
I never said that.
I'll ask you a question, very question.
Yes.
See, I want to dismantle an understanding from atheists.
Yes.
Because I don't think they really... Now, come, who's first?
No, I'll sit there. I need rest. Please carry on.
You see, atheists often tell us that there are no real evidence to believe in equality. The reason they are atheists is because of the absence of solid evidence, right?
Yes.
Because of the absence of evidence. Now, if I were to ask any atheist, what evidence would satisfy you that the Creator exists?
Well, I told you you were not happy with it.
Can you repeat that again?
I told you my evidence would be okay. God obviously has something to do with the with creation of life. If He's the creator, He has something to do with the creation of life. Yes, am I right?
Yep.
So now we're back to the question of the creation of life. If we accept the definition of God as someone who creates life, that's one of His functions, then we would have to look at the theories of origin of life. And if most scientists, were to prove conclusively, without many doubts, that the theory that involves the creation is the most solid theory, then I would probably change my mind. However, right now that's not the case, because evolutionary theory is a lot stronger than creation theory.
It's just a theory out of many. How is that? There are
most
many models of how life began.
Yeah, but evolutionary is obviously the best.
Matter, right?
Naturalistically, yes.
Is matter eternal in your worldview? Let's put the atheist in their comfort zone, or take it out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Matter existed before life, according to the scientific understanding that we have today. Is matter here eternally existing, or did it have a beginning of
It
existence?
is unknown. It is unknown. According, most physicists believe that matter will gradually devolve. So molecules will break into atoms. Atoms will break into
That's the outcome.
subatomic parts.
But the origin of matter, I mean, if you let me put it this way, existence, could it come from non-existence? What is non-existence?
Non-existence. Look, we've got hydrogen, we've got oxygen. The water does not exist yet. Now we do a chemical reaction. Bam, we've got water. So
Did it come from non-existence?
yes,
No, it came from hydrogen and oxygen.
but water as water did not exist.
The water, which is existence, it came from existence, which is hydrogen and oxygen. So can you give me an example where existence arises from non-existence? There was nothing.
What is non-existence anyway?
Ah, good question. So this is what atheists understand. This is where Professor Lawrence needs to revise his book title and to say the universe from something in his next edition. This is an advice to Professor Lawrence Krauss. He's a very smart gentleman. So, non-existence is simply a way of defining the absence of any existence. Absence of gravity, absence of quanta, absence of fluctuations, absence of energy fields, absence of everything. That's non-existence. So can non-existence, in that definition, give rise to existence like us?
Yeah, if I were a scientist, I'd probably give you a more detailed answer. But I personally don't know. But if you want
No, he
to-
What
hasn't.
non-existence is.
I
Quick
know.
street
I
Dawa.
personally
Dawa
don't-
And
is,
which scientist do you think will answer that existence can come
24
from
hours.
non-existence?
Scientists don't operate with such, words as non-existence or existence. Scientists
No,
use
scientists need to put into this straight question because they often seem to be hiding around jargon, right? The universe from nothing. Have you read that book?
No.
Right. I suggest you read that book and then you realize at all of this book, at the end, he's actually arguing the universe came from something. And the whole book title is The Universe from Nothing. What a real deception by a world-renowned, esteemed professor, a scientist. I asked him one of this book signing. You know what he said? Well, I explain it in my book that my nothing is something. No, nothing is nothing. Don't redefine nothing as something. That's a deception. So can non-existence, which is absolutely nothing, give rise to existence?
Well, as I told you, I don't know. Maybe yes,
You do
maybe
know.
no.
You do know. But you're not willing to accept it.
No.
In my definition, this non-existent doesn't have anything. No energy. No
Sorry,
quanta.
mate.
No fluctuations. No gravity. No virtual reality, virtual worlds or virtual particles. Absence of everything. Such a thing, which is no thing, cannot give rise to something. That by definition. If we exist now as something, can there be any time when there was absolute nothingness?
You know what? Let me tell you something. The best thing about science, what I like the most about science, is that scientists are not afraid to say we don't know. We don't know. We've got no conclusive answer yet. Unlike religion. Religion knows everything. Science does
Can
not.
you focus on the question?
I'm focusing on the question. I'm just telling you. You're talking about definition, nothing, something. Linguistics, they have nothing to do with this,
Can science operate without logic and language?
Science operates with logic. Science
Logic
obviously
and
operates with
language.
language.
Can you have
But
logic without
scientists-
language?
But scientists do not use the morphemes, the way the word is constructed, to reason something.
Do you know why? Do you know this question is very difficult for the atheists? Do you know that? Do you know how many atheists I've discussed this question with? And every single time,
Yeah.
the atheist is on the back foot and as if like, it's time to go home. I've got to attend. Or, we don't know, many
Why
other
are you so
excuses.
belligerent?
Listen.
No,
No.
why?
What does it mean belligerent?
Belligerent, like you're waging war against.
Look, I'm not waging a war against you. I'm simply saying, you know what something is. If I say, I have no money in my wallet, you don't mean, oh, but you may have a bank that you can borrow money from. You may have a friend. I'm simply saying, I have no money on my wallet. If I have no money on my wallet, and I have no banks, and I have no friends to borrow, or anyone to borrow, can I give you £50?
Obviously you can't.
Why not?
You've got no sources of money.
So I have no money. You understand what no money is?
Yeah, but that's because we agree what no money means.
Right. So you know what no money means? No money. Nothing means no thing. So can no thing make something? It's simple. It's simple. But it's the reason why you are not willing to accept it because it has consequences of accepting it. Because that means two things. I'll tell you. You don't have to answer it. It's a rhetorical statement. I've asked many times, and I know the answers many times, but given. If something exists today, there has to be always something. Problem number one. Now we are dealing with the eternality of something. Something always has to exist. Always. Either it's our universe, our cosmos, or another universe or another verse, multiverse that gave rise to the universe. There has to be something always in existence. Or the creator who created this cosmos who has to always exist. We have no other option. So now the atheists are put on a really difficult corner, and that is why you will find it difficult. Maybe you are an exception. Maybe you can tell me actually no. Nothing which has nothing whatsoever can give rise to something in this way. Would you like to share that with me?
You seem to be so obsessed with common sense reasoning. Do you know that common sense is actually bullshit?
Can you talk about something and nothing rather than common sense,
I'm
right?
talking about this. I'm talking about...
You talk about everything else apart from this subject matter.
I'm sorry. Could you please be a bit more calmer because I don't like the way you're talking to me.
I wasn't talking to you. talking to the crowd at the same
I'm
time.
trying
They
to-
have to
I'm trying
listen to
to-
me. Some people have to listen to me as well. So I'm going to shout at them, not at you. If you think I'm shouting at you, I do apologize. It's not intentional.
I have 7 to 8 minutes.
No
now,
problem.
So
No
I'll
problem.
get.
So we need to really have an answer in 70 minutes in this discussion.
Let me
But
tell you, I just want to tell you why I disagree with your reasoning in general. When you talk about the example with the money and nothing and something, the definition of these words, you're involving common sense, yes?
Anyway, full video will be up later inshallah.
Common sense is not good.
I'm going to end this now. Full video will be up later inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.